How many of you know and have used the phrase carpe diem? In English, it's normally always translated as seize the day. And most people interpret it to mean that you should live for the moment. To hell with tomorrow. You only live once. But if we actually look at the original Latin, it tells us a different. Carpe diem, quam minimum credula postero, which means more or less, pluck the day and trust the future as little as possible. It actually means the complete opposite of living for today. It means that we need to take every opportunity we have now so that we can make a better future. It means that you don't trust the future to take care of itself. And I want you to apply carpe diem to your language learning. You need to work really hard now so that you have English in the future. Hello and welcome to Canguro English. I'm Christian, and today we are going to be talking about conditionals. A lot of students have problems with conditionals, and I think there's two reasons why. The first reason is that students tend to focus on memorization, trying to remember the verbal tenses for each conditional. And the second reason is that when they memorize the verbal tenses for each conditional, it seems completely illogical, and there seems to be no reason why the conditionals are like this. But what if there was a deeper logic behind the construction of each conditional? Then it would be easy to learn and use conditionals every day. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this class. I'm going to show you the reason why English conditionals have these constructions. And the reason is all to do with time. Before I start, I have to say that this is a trick to learn conditionals and does not necessarily represent linguistic truth. To understand English conditionals, we need to start with time. But we need to look at time from a different perspective. And we need to understand how time relates to English verbal tenses. Here on my board, I have a simple timeline with the present and the future and the past. But now let's talk about what each verbal tense represents. Let's start with present simple. What does the present simple represent? If I say to you, I am a teacher, I live in Spain, I like pizza. The present tense in English represents truth. Now, what about the future tense? Remember that the future doesn't actually exist. When we talk about the future, all we are doing is making predictions about what we think is going to happen. So we can say that the future tenses represent things that are probable. So if we have the present tenses representing truth and the future tenses representing things that are probable, what about the opposite end? What do the past tenses represent? They represent the exact opposite. The past tenses tell us about things that are improbable. And this very simple concept of the present representing truth, the future representing probability, and the past representing improbability gives us the key to understanding English conditionals. So let's start with the zero conditional. The zero conditional is used to talk about things that are true. So which verbal tenses does it use? Present simple and present simple. If you eat a lot, you get fat. Now the first conditional. The first conditional talks about things that are probable, things that we think are likely to happen. So the first conditional, we start here in the truth and we start to move towards probability. If it stops raining, we will go out. Now, the second conditional. The second conditional in English is used to talk about things that are improbable, things that we think have a small chance of happening. So we can't move this way into the future. We have to go this way into the past, into improbability. If I had time, I would study Arabic. Because remember, would is the past of will. Finally, the third conditional. The third conditional is used to talk about things that are impossible. Because the third conditional talks about things that we want to change in the past. And as we know, it's impossible to change the past. So to use the third conditional, we have to go all the way back into the furthest past possible, the past perfect. If I had studied, I would have passed the exam. Two past perfect tenses. So next time you need to use a conditional in English, just remember this simple timeline and it will be easy. Well, I hope you found that class interesting. And now you need to go and start using these conditionals. Because although now you understand the logic, if you want fluency with your conditionals, you have to start using them, producing them every day. So you have some work to do. But if you use your conditionals every day, you will have amazing English. If you would like to see any more videos about the English language, then don't forget to subscribe. I'm Christian, this is Canguro English. I'll see you in class.